everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and you are watching the Popcast!
Apparently we need a drum roll. We need a thing that's like got a drum roll.
Yeah, we need a drum roll in our intro for sure. Anyways, welcome my friends. It is April 1st, aka April Fool's Day, which made my job today of locating the best news this week very difficult. In fact, I threw one of the April Fool's joke stories in here, and I didn't tell Shane which one, so we'll see if Shane can figure out which one is the April Fool's joke and which one's not.
I probably won't be able to. Yeah, we got my kids pretty good. My son was sick today, and so he didn't have to go to school this morning. But around 10 o'clock, my wife's like said, "Go get dressed. Let's go. Got to go to school." He's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "No, we got to go right now." And he got all freaked out. And she's like, "April Fools." Man, punking your kid like that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I tried to tell my landlord I wasn't going to pay the rent, and he was like, "Okay, you've been evicted." I was like, "No, April Fools! April Fools!"
He's like, "April Fools," and you're like, not really.
All right, listen, we are talking about a lot of cool stuff today. Of course, we're going to be reviewing Picard episode 3. It'll be the last thing we do on this show because it's probably going to take up the majority of of the first half of the show. But additionally, we are talking about Paramount's announcement to release new editions of Deep Space Nine and Voyager. Very interesting stuff. A new movie just dropped today from Judd Apatow called The Bubble. It looks fantastic, and we're going to check out that trailer and see if that is what we'll be watching this weekend. Of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi announcement. It was delayed, but with good reason. And the Picard Episode 3 review. Over in the other section, we're talking about Star Trek. Carl Urban breaking silence on his new involvement in the sequel. Or not. Who knows? We'll see. We're going to be talking about the teaser trailers. The little short, 15-second things that Paramount dropped about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, about Spock and Uhura and Hemner. And some people are upset about that. Also, Rings of Power will be a little bit more like Game of Thrones. To be honest, if it's a little more like Game of Thrones, okay. I'm cool with that. And lastly, Zack Snyder's Justice League wins most cheer-worthy moment at the Academy Awards. And I know it's old news, but let's be real. We didn't watch the Academy Awards. So.
True.
Okay, Shane, how you doing, bro? How's your week going? Are you almost done, or are you just starting? What's the skinny, my dude?
Well, I really need to take this moment. I've been thinking about this all week since the last time we got together. And can I have a moment here?
As long as you stop beating the crap out of your keyboard, because it's very audible. You're like...
I do it every week. Every week.
Like, that poor keyboard, man. All right, no, of course you can have a moment. Go for it, bro.
Well, it's important that I take this moment because I've been thinking about it all week. And it just needs to be said. This is very hard for me to do.
Wait, do I need to do this?
Rant of the week! No.
Oh, okay, my bad, go ahead.
No, it is my week to do a rant, but I guess I don't have anything.
Yeah, I guess this is your rant of the week. You want me to hit the button for you?
It can't be my rant. No, it's not the rant of the
week. Okay, all right.
It's serious, actually. It's not even a rant.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
So earlier this week on Monday, I found myself going back to Star Trek Discovery Season 1. And I just kind of made my way through the entire series. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. And what I've decided and what I realize is that I now know that Star Trek Discovery is probably the best Star Trek ever made. And
excuse me, everybody. We're having some technical difficulties. We'll get right back to you.
I'm just I'm sorry. That was my
April Fools!
But you ruined it by mentioning April Fools at the beginning. I'm like, oh no, he's saying April Fools. No one's going to believe this when I say it.
You try to do it with a straight face, but I saw the edges of your eyes start to tear up a little bit.
Yeah, I have been planning this since yesterday to do this April Fool's joke, and I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to, I wanted you to be surprised too.
You should have told me not to mention April Fools.
But then you would have known I was doing something for April Fools, and it was good. So the timing was off.
All right, so
it's been a good week.
I have an announcement. Okay, I also really like Star Trek Discovery. I can't say it. Can't do it.
Now that we've played that out.
All right, man. There's some folks here in the live chat. David Nonia, long time no see, my dude. Archmage Frey, Denny Rowe, and I'm sure some others. What do you want to get started with? Do you want to start with the show? Do you want to just jump into it?
Well, I mean, it's been like a crazy week. A couple of things we probably have to announce. We do have a video coming out tomorrow, right? We do? Do we?
I'm assuming I get it done. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a video coming out tomorrow. It's about Stargate. I think we can tell people that.
Yeah.
And maybe in the member section, we'll talk a little more specifically about what that is. But so get ready for that. That's coming out tomorrow. Next week, I will not be here. Next week, I will not be on the live show. Next week, we're going to have a special guest. Brian. And maybe a couple, actually. I'm working with somebody else to try to lock them in for next week, too.
Oh, don't make my job hard.
Yeah, but it'll be easy for you because you're good at this,
We'll see. We'll see about that. We're definitely going to have a guest host. We'll see about other multiple hosts.
Well, not multiple hosts. One host, but you might have a special guest next week.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I'm just glad to be here with you guys again. I feel like we've been doing this a lot lately, and I'm excited because we're close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys for being here.
Yes, we are so close. In fact, on that note, if you're watching this right now and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. We are this close to 1,000 subs. And we would need your help. Hit the like button while you're down there. Hit the share button. All those buttons. And help us get to 1,000 sub ASAP. We are so close. It's been, almost 2 years now? 3 years? 10 years? No, it'll be a year. I don't even know. Long time.
It's a year this month.
Feels like a long time. And so go get down there and hit that button. Okay, so we're going to start off the show with some very interesting news. Very perplexing news. I don't understand why this is happening. But, okay. It's very weird. Paramount announced they're going to be releasing a demastered VHS only edition. I can't even do it with a straight face. God damn it, bro. It's so stupid. I can't.
Right now.
So I saw this news drop on Extreme Tech, and it said, Paramount announces demastered edition of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And it was like, instead of a Blu-ray remastered or upscaled version, they're actually going to drop it down to VHS and release a special edition of the VHS series. And here's the crazy part: the math was so good on this article, like the way they explained why, how it's better for sales, and all this great things, only to get all the way to the end. And for it to be April Fools.
What? I mean, I personally don't even care because I don't have any of those mediums anymore. How many people really have Blu-ray and everything still?
I still have Blu-ray in the sense where I think I have Blu-ray I think my Xbox has a Blu-ray.
Okay.
But the funny thing about it is the very end, because I was like the whole time I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Why would they do this? I have been waiting for years for a Blu-ray version of Voyager. I want to see Voyager.
Why?
Because I want to see Voyager in widescreen high quality. There is nothing.
Yeah, I guess people care a lot about that. I guess you like that.
Of course I care about it. I can barely even watch the current version anymore.
That's terrible. Okay.
But when I was reading this article and I was getting super irritated the whole time, I was like, this makes no sense. Why is anyone wasting time on this? And at the very end, it was like, plans are reportedly in the works to reissue Star Trek the Animated Series. of a recently discovered laser disc manufacturer in the Sony DAC factory. And if it proves popular, Paramount might consider releasing TOS on Betamax. And the second it said Betamax, I was like, oh, this is the joke. The whole time, though, it was so well put together, this entire article. Kudos to Extreme Tech.
It's good.
But when they said Betamax, I was like, no way. I'm sorry. I could see companies making poor decisions like supporting Laserdisc and VHS still, but never Betamax. Yeah. Oh, man, it was so good. And I really do want to see a version of Voyager like in proper 4K. It'd be beautiful.
Okay, well, that's to each their own. I mean, I'm fine with it the way it is now, but, that's interesting.
You're fine with it the way it is. I
don't need it. I don't need to watch things so that they're... I mean, I guess it's cool if it's already like that, but I'm not going to pay extra money to watch something in better sound quality.
You must not have like a good comparison.
What do you mean?
Like... watch the original and then watch the remastered version, like side by side.
But I don't have that, so that's why it doesn't bug me. It's not like now. If you ask me, like if I have a choice when I'm on Amazon and I'm looking at a movie and it's like, Amazon, buy this one regular and buy this 4K. I mean, and if it's the same price, I'm going to get the 4K. But honestly, I'm still watching TOS original series like not remastered.
Well, where are you watching them, on Paramount or Netflix?
I think I tried. I watched it on Paramount. Yeah,
well, then that's
they
remastered.
Have remastered episodes. They have some remastered, but I was not watching the remastered ones.
Okay, all right. Well, you're a cretin and a barbarian.
It doesn't matter to me, but
whatever.
Maybe to some people it does.
Whatever you say, weirdo. Who doesn't want it 4K?
Weirdo.
Imagine. Just consider this: 7 of 9 climbing the Jeffries tube in 4K.
I guess when you experienced it in the original, you don't need it when it first came out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, Archmage, this is the funniest thing about the article. They mention every format except for HD DVD. That's how poor that format did. Even the fake article decided it wasn't, that we wouldn't buy it if they mentioned HD DVD.
Right.
All right. I want to see Voyager so bad. High quality. I've even tried to upscale episodes, and it just...
That's how you care about it. Because Brian, before he'll watch something, he will try to upscale it himself before he watches it.
You understand? The only reason I didn't is because, like, to upscale one episode, it would take, like, 30 hours.
Oh, wow.
It would take so much time. So, all right. Moving on. That was the April Fool's, so I guess I didn't fool anybody because I started laughing halfway through it. I'm horrible at joking, man. All right, let's talk about The Bubble, Shane. Have you seen this trailer yet?
Yeah, before we talk about it, there's a couple of things that came out that we should probably mention since we're just going to talk about random movies. I got these lights in my face, like right down the middle of my screen here. I am in the worst sitting position.
Yeah.
And it's bugging me. So
yeah, your whole setup is a mess.
Wait a sec, it's better. What are you talking about? Look behind me. Look at it.
It is better.
It's better.
But it's like every week there's something.
Stuff.
Every week it's like, oh, my chair's too low, my camera's too high, the contrast. Now there's lights on your face.
Do you know the blinds? The blinds that you pull, and they got little holes in them, right? And the damn sun is right there coming through these tiny little holes, and I can't move because it's in the middle. Look, literally, it's in the middle of my forehead.
Tape them. Right. Tape the holes.
I can't. There's like 50 of them or something.
Anyway. A line of masking tape right down the road.
I just have to deal with it for like the next hour. So it's
okay, all right.
So, anyways, let's before we do the bubble though, I wanted to talk about the fact that I did watch. You told me we were going to talk about this, so I went out of the way.
Death on the Nile.
The Death on the Nile.
Yeah, I fell asleep 20 minutes in, so I decided it's probably not worth watching.
Well, I went through the whole thing, and I will tell you, it's not worth watching. So, for everybody out there who wants to watch Death of the Nile, if you are really bored and you have nothing else to do, and you've literally seen everything else out there, then watch Death on the Nile because it's not a good movie, and you know who the killer is, from.
Yeah, can I? Let me just hold up 1 second.
Rant of the week.
Oh, all right.
All right, little mini rant here, guys. Okay, I was so excited to watch Death on the Nile. I'm actually irritated that you brought it up. I was so excited to watch this movie. I've been telling Shane for weeks. We got to cover this movie when it comes out. It's going to be great, blah, blah. And I turned it on, and the first like 15, 20 minutes of this movie is nothing like what it was advertised. It's literally like a black and white movie somewhere.
No, it's not a black and white.
No, but it has that vibe. It has a vibe of like a black and white old movie or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when do we get to the good part where it's like an actual movie that should be made in 2022? And it took
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And Gal Gadot's not even good in it.
A solid third of the movie was completely pointless, in my opinion. I kept falling asleep. Finally, I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to start fast forwarding. And I fast forwarded until I saw the color get corrected, right?
Right.
And then I know what it was about. And I was like, you know what? This is dumb. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I just turned it off. Didn't finish it.
It does get better after 30 minutes, but it's never very good.
Like, well, whose choice was that? It's such a weird artistic choice. It was so dumb.
I mean, it was set. I mean, it was supposed to be like a Murder on the Orient Express.
Right.
It was supposed to be set like at the turn of the century. You know, a bunch. You know, the rich people who used to go about Europe and vagabonding and stuff. I mean, so it kind of made sense, but it was just really poorly done.
It was poorly done. It was boring. The pacing was all over the place. The formatting was weird. Someone thought, I'm a genius, and they're gonna make a movie. In reality, they just let their own artistic nonsense get in the way, and it just was like disappointing. I'm disappointed.
It was not a good story. Also, just to note, I was able to go see the movie with Sandra Bullock, Lost City.
Oh yeah, Lost City.
And just put it out there for you guys. Great date movie. Sandra Bullock's okay, but honestly, it wasn't that great of a movie either.
No, I gotta tell you, there's one thing that if you're really into Channing Tatum's rear end, then you're gonna love this movie. Like
there's a lot of that, a lot of naked Channing Tatum.
Yeah, if you just like really want to check out naked Channing Tatum, whatever his name is, what a stupid name, go watch that movie.
Stupid.
Channing Taint. Him.
Not taint.
Let's go watch his taint.
Tatum, not taint.
Tatum's taint.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yeah. Hopefully, though, the next movie we're talking about is called The Bubble with Judd Apatow.
It looks pretty good.
It looks good, and we're gonna get copyright claimed here and watch a trailer. You down for that, Shane?
I am down for it. It's got Karen Gillan in it, which was always awesome, and it's got Leslie Mann. It's got a lot of similar people he likes to use.
Enjoy the copyright claims while we're not monetized, boys and girls. There we go. Of course, launching today. Proper day to launch a Judd Apatow movie.
It's out today?
Yeah.
You tell people what it's about?
I mean, yeah, but if I tell them what they're about, and they haven't seen the trailer, then it's gonna ruin the trailer.
I'm sorry. You're right.
All right, so I don't want to do that. We'll talk about it when that time comes up. Here we go.
We're almost at the nest.
Epic, right, Jane?
That sounds like a baby crying for its mama.
That ain't no baby!
I love this so much.
And cut. Now that was a great take.
All right, so this is a movie about making a movie during the COVID lockdown, and so like using primarily green screen and the face shields and all that stuff, and hijinks, and they end up getting quarantined and hijinks ensue.
Welcome to the start of production of Cliff Beast 6.
Cliff Beast 6, I love that. Like that's another that's like a play on how ridiculous movies are nowadays. Like you don't see this, but they're working on Cliff Beast 6, but underneath Shane's camera there it says Cliff Beast Space Fury 5. So like they started a movie series about these dinosaurs or whatever, and at some point, where do they go? Space.
Right.
Okay. We keep making fun of that, but it's true.
Please make sure you're wearing proper PPE. Physical touch is, of course, off the table. So I would recommend.
I love this actor, by the way.
Sweet eyes at each other.
The guy from Portlandia. I always forget his name.
Oh, it's
This is so
Fred
exciting.
Armisen.
It's like
Fred,
these
yeah, he's
movie
awesome.
stars have come to life.
You will soon learn to hate these people.
We are one of 2 movies in production right now. If we fail, the studio is going to go down.
I'm not a magician.
I know you're not a fucking magician. If you were a fucking magician, you'd pull a movie out of your ass. Oh my God, it's Minnie Driver. Oh, I love her.
This movie is gonna make the world forget about all their problems. What we're doing is edgy. It's real.
Crystal just.
I love this guy so much. I don't know why, but I love this guy. Fred Armisen or whatever.
He's kind of funny sometimes. Yeah, Fred Armisen.
Hey guys, I don't feel so good.
Some of you tested positive
He's an SNL
for
guy.
influenza,
Yeah, he's an alum, right?
Oh yeah, he was on for a long time.
which is the good virus.
Should we be concerned about, this level of vomit?
There's some really crazy shit going down on the Cliff Beast set right now.
Hey, Gunther, why do you look like Benedict Cumberbatch right now?
Hello, I'm Doctor Strange.
Stop being Benedict Cumberbatch.
David Duchovny, stop being Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, no, that's great. David's great. Man, Keegan Michael Key's great.
He's looking older lately, huh?
Guys, he's aging, man.
Yeah.
Leslie Mann's in it. I mean, this is really going to be. It should be a funny movie. Even Kate McKinnon's in it from SNL.
Yeah, this should be hilarious.
It should be funny.
And Keegan.
The problem with Netflix. Oh yeah, we're still going.
No, that's right.
The problem with Netflix is that, I've yet to see something really good come out on Netflix that I was like, wow, that's like theater quality movie.
Right.
So hopefully, and I'm not sure why that is. It's not like, I'm going into it completely open-minded. So why is it? I'm assuming that it's because there's something a little bit like Wish version of the theater going on at Netflix, right?
See, I mean, maybe you're thinking about like Netflix specific series, but like there's also movies that were made for the theater, but Netflix just bought up before they can get there.
Maybe, but I'm thinking like, the recent one with Ryan Reynolds. Well, actually, the recent 2 or 3 with Ryan Reynolds on there. I'm thinking of like the Army of the Dead one. All those Netflix special movies. I don't know what it is. They weren't great movies.
Yeah, they feel like they're missing something.
Something's missing, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Even if they're entertaining.
Hopefully this is good, I don't know.
Well, luckily this doesn't actually have to have good graphics, because like the whole point of it is that they're making a movie. So
yeah. If it's funny, I think they'll be successful. If it's anything other than, it has to be funny though, because it's a Judd Apatow movie, and you're kind of expecting that. So, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
all right, well, you guys let us know what you think here in the chat. What do you guys think about this? You guys excited to see some The Bubble by Judd Apatow? Apatow? What did they say? Oh, Cliff Beast. I love this. Cliff Beast 4 was the best one in my opinion.
Yeah, that's funny.
Did anyone really think that Kenneth Branagh would do justice to Jeff Ethan? I have to watch him. Right? I thought he was going to be great, and it was not. So,
what made you think it was going to be great?
I don't know. I just had this vibe about it, dude.
I mean,
it had all the winning pieces. What's that?
I watched the previews, and there was nothing that really stood out to me.
I don't know.
It had this really weird intro that was like, the main character, the guy who's like the detective, he has this like World War I horrible experience, right? And now he's a detective, and that just never really translated.
No, it didn't. It was,
it was very strange.
Rough.
Oh, Orville Nation says probably done on lesser budgets. That might be what it is. Maybe I'm noticing like the budget is not as good.
He prefers Cliff Beast 3D.
We're gonna watch it, and I won't be here to talk about it next week. But
Cliff Beast 2: Return of the Beast. Oh man, I love that. I love how Cliff Beast 5 they went to space. It's like whenever a franchise has run out of ideas, they turn to space every single time.
Well, it reminds me of the movie that Ben Stiller did with where Robert Downey Jr. was black. What was that movie? Oh, Tropic Thunder. And in the beginning of that movie, he's like Ben Stiller's like this actor who's kind of done all the same movies, and it's like Ice 6 or Ice 8, and he's got these 2 babies on him. He's in space with guns and stuff. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I remember thinking to myself, I would watch that movie.
Yeah, right. That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, I might watch that.
I might watch that. Realize that maybe I had bad taste. I don't know.
maybe. We shouldn't be telling people what to watch. What's wrong with us?
There are movies that just can't be made today, and that is one of them. Like Tropic Thunder, in today's climate, and it's a classic. Could never be made. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't even make it out of the editing booth. Wouldn't make it to the writer's table.
Well, nobody'd be brave enough to make it.
Right.
Frankly speaking,
right.
Terrified of being. Oh my gosh, is it going to sell? Is it going to be okay in China? Will the Chinese buy it? It's like people are worried way too much about what's going to happen. They just need to make it.
Will the Chinese buy it? Yeah. No. Right. The answer is no. Not if it has Keanu Reeves in it. Okay, let's talk about Shane's favorite topic recently is a little Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And we got some bad news, right, Shane?
I don't know because I can't find it. So you'll have to read this one. I usually curate the news for us, but Brian hooked it up today, and I can't find the reason why. So
it's okay, Shane. It's okay.
Can't find it.
So according to Obi-Wan himself, this is what they said.
Thank you for all your incredible support and response to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Thank you for your incredible support and response to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I have some important news.
Everyone.
Our premiere date is moving just a couple of days from Wednesday to Friday, May the 27th.
All right, so they have moved the premiere date from Wednesday to Friday.
Is that the change?
That is the announcement trailer.
Is that why I can't find it? Because it doesn't matter?
Because it doesn't matter whatsoever.
Was that why? Because I'm like
but here's
tripping.
The exciting
I'm like,
part.
oh my God,
the
first moved. What's happening? And I'm like trying to see. I'm like, well, it says May 27th. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much close to what it was. I think it was May 25th, right?
Yeah. So it's moving from May 25th to May 27th. And there's a whole announcement trailer for it. Additionally, it's going to launch with 2 episodes of the series instead of 1.
Yeah, there's 6 total episodes.
So a third of its episodes will drop that Friday.
2 episodes will premiere together.
All right. I guess that's news. Why is this news?
But there was a cool look of that Darth Vader inside the announcement trailer. Check it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. See, I told you he's not gonna have his helmet.
Look at that. He looks really weird to me.
He looks bad, dude.
I
was kind of expecting still getting kind of. I mean, I don't know. Darth Vader didn't have hair. Okay, that made sense. God, does that even look like him?
It doesn't even look like him. It looks like a stormtrooper or something.
Zoom in or something? Is there? I mean, it's really small on my screen.
Can't really zoom in.
Wow. Okay, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. But
that's not Vader right there.
That's not Vader. Who is that?
No, that's the Executioner.
Then that wasn't Vader. Then that's the Executioner or whatever.
That last one wasn't Vader.
I guess it wasn't Vader. It looked a lot like a Hayden Christian to me.
Well, he is going to be different, and I think we're gonna.
Yeah. We
won't have the helmet as much. As we're expecting.
Yeah. So that's the entire news article.
We're like News Light today, man.
Dude, it had like 2 million hits, and I'm like, oh wow, this is gonna be good. And it was like, I have some news. We're moving from Wednesday to Friday, and you're like, what?
This is a case of like Disney Plus being like thinking everybody cares as much as they do about exactly what's happening on which day.
Right. And like,
people don't care.
I gotta ask, is that a product of how sort of rabid and toxic, I don't want to say the word toxic, but like sort of insane some of the fans are nowadays when it comes to like their favorite stuff, like Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever. Like, do they feel the need to like over communicate because they don't want to start like overly getting canceled or something before the thing comes out? Or
I mean, maybe. I think you have to put it out. Does it need to be done by Obi-Wan Kenobi and like in an apologetic way? No, it's 2 days.
with like an epic soundtrack behind them.
It's just got to be like, hey guys, it's going to be 2 days later. Okay. Apparently the only thing it's impacting here is the series will now overlap with Marvel's Miss Marvel series for one fewer week, which I'm not sure why that matters either.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
The Miss Marvel series looks like absolute hot trash. Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't even looked at it.
So Shane hasn't seen it yet, but Shane, if you looked at it, you would be like, oh, is this Marvel? Because like, dude, the trailer has like a very like Ryan's toy review kind of vibe to it, where it's like
Ryan's toy review. Nice.
Yeah, where it's like there's like colorful like comic book like drawings and stuff going on while they're talking.
There parents in like Chuck E. Cheese suits running around without the heads
It's
on
just so bad. The character is like this like poor something. I don't even know what religion she is or whatever, but she's very like not in a good way, and she gets these powers, and of course, all the bad guys, they're gonna pay for it, I guess. I don't know. And some guy walks in, he has like no shirt on, and she's like, oh, look at his abs, and you're like, what am I watching? Like, it doesn't even look like Marvel. It looks like a Nickelodeon commercial, TV show or something. It's so bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Disney Plus is targeted towards the younger folk, usually.
Yeah, this is a Marvel property. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Archmage says the trailer is edited very tween animated. Yeah, it's tween animated. It's very weird.
That should be like a category. Tween animated.
Yeah.
Tween animated. The whole colon.
I really believe we should make that category, because then that will allow me to avoid what I don't want to see.
You can just completely skip the category.
Yeah. Oh, look at this good movie. Oh, no, that's in the tween section. Nah, I'm good. Thanks. Passing by. All right. Yeah. So I was actually gonna almost be like, we need to report Miss Marvel just to see your initial reaction. Like, not that we actually want to do it, but I wanted you to watch the trailer and then call me and say, why would you want to talk about that?
That would have been funny. I would have been like, absolutely not.
What is the purpose behind this insanity? All right, we're gonna get to the Star Trek Picard here coming up pretty soon.
Are we not talking Strange? Oh, we're talking Strange New Worlds later.
Yeah, are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I know you really want to talk.
As long as we're going to talk about it, I do want to.
We're going to talk about it. I want to talk about it after the Picard review. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. We have been doing the Picard review kind of at the top. Apologize, guys, if that's what you came for, but it is going to be a little bit more of a deep discussion. So. But
to be fair, we've only been online for what?
40 minutes.
Okay, so now. Picard. Have we been online for 40 minutes already? Oh my God.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about like the sun shining in my face and bad movies that have been released lately.
Okay. All right. So, without further ado, let's get to the Picard Season 2, Episode 5 review.
I don't know if I can
Okay. So remind me to make a Picard review like stinger or something.
Right. I was thinking like, why don't we like this is what you're good at.
Like, please write that down. Like, we need to make a stinger for the Picard review.
Picard, yeah. Thing happens.
Okay. So here we go, guys. We're talking about Picard Season 2, Episode 5. The title is Fly Me to the Moon. Let me swim on the stars. It's Fly Me to the Moon, which is a reference to old Frankie Blue Eyes.
That's your favorite.
That's my favorite crooner of all time. And Frank Sinatra, in case you guys don't know the nickname I give him in the bedroom. But
No, that's actually his nickname, bro.
I know, man. I was making a joke, but
Oh, sorry.
thanks for stepping on it. That's cool. You know.
Well, I actually took you serious for a second there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's first mistake.
That's true. That's true. I don't know why I did that.
So we open on this episode after getting through the whole skip intro nonsense, and we are looking at Renee Picard, who appears to be in a spaceship of some sort.
Woo!
And we find out it's Renee Picard toward the end here when it reveals her name tag. But let's be real, guys. We knew it last week when we said, "Hey, look, that's Renee Picard," because it said it in the Amazon X-ray.
That's true. It did. They do the subtitles will give away things.
Yeah, they need to be better at that though. Like we weren't supposed to know who that person was.
Yeah, we weren't. Right?
No, we weren't.
And here's going to be something irony about it. The first time we see her, she's laughing, having a good old time reading a book, right?
Right.
And now this episode.
And now she's depressed.
Now she's like a
Beyond.
I mean, what is she, bipolar? I mean, maybe, I guess, but no.
I mean, that would make sense.
A little bit messed up there.
So she's flying the ship, and then she crashes, and then it's a simulation. So she's like practicing because her job in a couple days is her taking off on the Europa mission to the moon of Io or something, right, Shane?
The Europa mission going to Io, yes.
I probably got that right.
Which is ironic to me because Europa is also a moon of Jupiter. So why is it not the Io mission?
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to know more about this.
I don't know. Now, here's the interesting part. I gotta turn subtitles on because I keep forgetting this chick's name. It's like Talim. Talim.
Her name's Orla Brady.
Yeah.
Talon?
All right. So one quick thing about this scene. Actually, we're gonna get there. I actually learned something yesterday after our members only review, and I was like, "Oh man, I wish I would have known that during the review." But dude, when she's using the keypad,
it's Romulan.
It's in Romulan.
Yeah. And that was, which is cool, or is it? But the question is does that mean like it means something to us, or is it just like a wink and a nod to her original character? Like that's the problem with this show right now, is we don't know what's like real and what's kind of wink and nodish, or what's a member berry, right?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, that's a good point because like if it was classic Star Trek, everything would matter and we would actually be like discussing it.
Yes, everything would matter.
But some things just don't matter in this new version of Star Trek.
Sometimes you just like put it in there because it's cool.
Yeah,
funny.
like when the Discovery ship was having like an existential crisis and needed a therapist. That didn't matter.
That was what the show was about. Are we going to talk about that now?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
My favorite TV show?
So in the making of the video, I was getting clips, and I just happened to land on that Discovery where the ship was like, "Something is wrong. I really need to talk to you, doctor." And like, what? Why is this happening? Oh man, it drove me nuts. All right, so back to Picard, which is the better show right now. We go back to the ship. The Queen. I love the framing of this. My God, I love the Queen. The Queen is so good in this series. Jeez.
Yeah, she is. Oh, I forgot to mention something about Renee Picard, and it's important because we've been leaning on our theory. If Renee Picard is truly the point in time that needs to be fixed, then and it's not some sort of feint by the Picard team, then that's going to throw our theory completely out.
Oh, how dare they?
Yeah, and so our theory that it was associated to the Romulans actually will be gone. But it did take 5 episodes for that to happen.
Hey, that might be a record for us.
That is a new record.
Usually our theories are debunked. Either they're completely right or they're debunked really quickly.
Right.
Okay, so the Borg Queen is like, listen, I gotta get out of this ship, man. And so she starts dialing phone calls. She's gonna call the cops. And I found it interesting that in order to get access to that part of the ship, she went through a series of voices. She went through Girardi's voice. She went through Rios' voice. Picard's voice, and then eventually Rios. No one has full access to that ship except for Captain Rios, which I thought was cool.
That makes sense, yeah. And just to say here that that the Borg Queen is probably the best thing about Picard season 2 right now, because Annie Wershing has just like embodied what it is to be the Borg Queen, and she's just nailing it.
Yeah.
She's really doing a great job. She's terrifying. She's witty. She's cunning, and it shows it in using these different voices. And I guess if you started with Rios, then you wouldn't be able to show off that she could say everybody else's voice. But since Rios is the captain of the ship, I would have thought maybe she would have started with him. But
Maybe she has a connection to Girardi, so she went, Girardi, and then you go, who's in charge here? Well, Picard's in charge. Oh, well, that didn't work. So who's in charge of the ship specifically? Oh.
That's true. She didn't do Rafi or anything.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. And then speaking of Rafi, they have this cool cell phone in what appears to be one of those armor cases that you can buy on Amazon. And they're going to drop an EMP on the bus. I hated this so much. Yeah, the EMP. So I hated how angry Rafi got once again about Seven being like, "Yo, you can't just like storm the bus, and you can't teleport them out because like it's gonna mess the timeline." She's like, "No, you care about the timeline, bro."
Yeah, can we just address Rafi's like complete inability to control herself so far?
Right.
Like, after I kind of gave her some leeway at the beginning because she's dealing with the death of Elnor, but we're 5 episodes in now. It's time to like move on a bit.
Right.
And you get this kind of argument going back and forth between the two, and they weren't concerned at all last week when they beamed out in the middle of the police, like staring at him.
Right. Like, yeah. Like,
so,
like
I'm not sure why where they're concerned this week.
Yeah. Now they're concerned, but. However, 709 does calm her down, and she goes, "Give me the tricorder." And she, like, presses some buttons, and she, like, launches an EMP, and the bus stops moving. And my problem is they're like, immediately, like, 400 yards away from the thing. Like, it's that cell phone. Like, it just seemed too convenient. I really wish it would have been better had they ran up to the street, said something on the cell phone, and hid behind a bush.
Right, yeah.
Something more reasonable, because like that seems so OP that you could just bust out your cell phone and hit, generate EMP everybody. I don't.
Well, I guess you're so far advanced in the future, you can figure out how to go back and do something like that. I don't know.
But
you wouldn't have enough power to do an EMP in a cell phone. I don't think.
And it's supposed to be a tricorder, so probably it's better. So I don't care.
Oh, it's okay. It's a tricorder. That's right.
Regardless of this, of the stupid tricorder EMP thing, I do like the fact that they really rushed through this scene because I didn't want to be here anymore. So.
Well, the whole Rios thing's drug out. I mean, they even take this, like, it takes 20 seconds. I counted it. When they get out of this bus, for whatever reason, right here, Rios, instead of them just getting out of there, they've just knocked out the cops. I'm sure they're just like chilling. He's over here. He's hugging this guy. He's like, "Hey, man, you punched him. Nice.
Hey, what's up, man?"
They're speaking in Spanish together, and it was just a complete waste of 20 seconds. I mean, let's keep the story going. What was the point of doing this? The point was to try to, solidify this whole, what do we say? Yeah, you solidify this whole like
stereotype
of illegal aliens, and that we've already said is not accurate in general. People who've been illegal aliens here in the United States for longer periods of time they're pretty much they're inside society. It's not like this at all.
There's no comic book villains in ICE uniforms trying to chase them down or something.
Right.
All right. Like in this actor, he's dressed up like it's like the 1985 Blood In, Blood Out or something. It's the oddest thing to me.
He's got the button all the way to the top and the classic Chicano.
He's like, "Hey, I'm a veterano." That's not what this is,
I'm a gangbanger.
It's almost offensive, because it's like that's the massive stereotype.
It just shows it really shows how out of touch a lot of people in Hollywood are, because they probably they have very little interaction with actual immigrants or illegal immigrants, and so they're like, "Oh, well, this is what they're like."
Alex Kurtzman was like, he's like making show notes, and he looks out the window and he sees his gardener walking by, and he goes, "Oh, that's what we need."
That's what we.
He look at the way he buttons his shirt up all the way to the top. Okay, he has a teardrop under his eye. Okay, write that in.
That's so the grass doesn't get down his shirt. That's what's going on right there.
All right, well, this is when we go back to Picard and Talim /Laris, and this is when it is finally confirmed that it is the Gary 7 people. It's the same exact race or type of agent or whatever it is, and supervisor, and it's awesome. And she's like, well, let me show you some footage of why Rene Picard might not be going on that mission. And she shows him the footage of like, I'm sorry, let me get there real quick. There it is. She's like in therapy, and they're going to show the footage. And it ends up being Q, which I thought was fine. What did you say yesterday? You're like, I knew it was Q like the minute they started talking.
I knew it. I mean, they never even showed him. And before, Picard's like, turn that around so I can see who it is. And I'm like, okay, well, Q's voice. And that was Q's voice, even though it was in a fake German accent. So, I mean, you knew that Q was sitting there.
Sigmund Freud, tell me about your mother.
You got that German Russian thing going on.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do accents. But however, we do see that she is using her keypad is Romulan, which I found interesting. I'm not sure why the supervisor from another planet would be using a Romulan keypad, but
and is it so? It really, if they did it just to be cute, because of course that character is a Romulan in the regular timeline, then don't do that, please, because now it's got us going, well, does it mean something? And I hope it means something. Maybe somehow this is all, maybe it's a fake thing, or I don't know, but I would rather it mean something than for it to be like a hidden joke,
Right. So it appears that Q is trying to talk Rene Picard out of going through with the mission. And at the end of the series, just to tie this up, oh, by the way, spoilers, I guess. But at the end of the series,
20 minutes in, guys, we're going to have some spoilers.
Forgot about this, spoilers. At the end of the series, they're like, Rene Picard brought back a sentient microorganism from the planet Io.
That changes everything, man. What's that about?
Yeah,
that's greatly concerning.
Right. Yeah, it's
really concerning.
It is. All right. So this is when we get a shot of Leia Thompson, and the director from the last couple of episodes, also Back to the Future fame. She is running as a cameo in this board meeting where they are basically telling Dr. Soon that he can't be a god, and he's got to stop experimenting on people. And he's like, you don't understand. Because his daughter, who looks identically to Soji, I can't say her name, Soji, apparently has and this is very important, has a blood disorder, and like the sun is poisonous to her blood, and any air particles that get in her lungs, she's like in a really bad. Is it the same as like that movie? Remember that movie Bubble Boy?
Oh, was it called? It wasn't called Bubble Boy. That was.
A Boy in the Bubble or something like that?
Boy in the Plastic Bubble, yeah. I guess. The sunlight didn't bother him, though.
All right, so whatever it is, she's in a bad way. So she is...
that's right, yeah. He had no immunity. That's what that was.
Oh, I see.
That's not what she's going through. Like, literally, like, her skin turns like it's being burned by acid if sunlight touches it.
All right. That's interesting. Isn't there UV light everywhere, though?
There is, I'm everywhere?
I mean, in most places. I guess you can completely filter out UV. Maybe they did that in the lab. Maybe the lab has completely filtered out any form of UV light.
Maybe, yeah.
So she's like a vampire then.
Yeah, right. Well, there's a sun allergy that's actually called polymorphic light eruption, which is known as sun poisoning. So she must have like some seriously like hardcore, version of that.
Okay. So yeah, Soon is trying to cure his daughter, who looks a whole lot like Data's android daughter in the future. And we talked about that yesterday, but basically it's, this is probably just a nod to the character, and she's under contract. You get it, whatever. You can manufacture reasons like, The character was based on the drawing, a painting that Data made, and maybe Data thought of that as his daughter. Like, I don't know. Actually, there's no way. Huh?
It's not annoying. It's not annoying because in so many versions, Issa Briones played the, she is the daughter of Soong in some sort of weird way. So having her in this 2024 version as the daughter of another Soong, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's stressing out. He wants to heal his daughter, and he is not being given the opportunity to. And it looks like everything he tries, according to the screen, has a 99% plus certainty of the death of the subject. So it's not working out. All of his research is not working toward his end goal of actually saving his daughter or allowing his daughter to go outside, right?
Right.
And he's being shut down for the final time. And when he goes home and he's stressed out about it, we get this scene where Q is like, check your 3D printer.
Right. Yeah.
And what do we see? The Q card. And to be honest, bro, you called this like a month ago.
Yeah, I said it was a business card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I could have seen the number and known that.
I didn't see the number on the original one though, because
I don't remember that either.
There was no number in the trailer. I'll tell you how you know. I screenshotted this scene like a million times. I would have called that number.
That's true. Yeah, it must have been added, and I remember just thinking originally, I'm like, oh, that must be a Q. It looked like it was in the shape of a Q, but it really looked more like it was in the shape of maybe like some sort of a code or some sort of a data chip.
Right, like a QR code almost.
Right, and so I was like, and you just kind of happen to see that little orange thing, like, oh, that's a Q. So and of course he meets with him, so I guess you believe one thing's the other.
Right. Fun fact: if you call that number, Q picks up.
Yeah, it's a cute little. I mean, it's funny. I thought it was cool that they actually went out of their way to create a number to have John Delancey record his voice and say basically like, I'm not going to return your call because you're not worthy of me returning the call.
Right.
Just total Q conversation. It was great.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so we got the cop, this very long sequence, and I agree with you now after watching it a third time. This whole sequence is too long.
It's too long. Just too long.
The cop walks to the manor. He's like following up, going to vineyard. He goes through the house, somehow gets to the ship or something, and he sees the scary Borg queen standing there. And look at this long, even scrolling through it's taking a long time. And boom.
Jonathan Frakes is the director of this episode, and I love when he directs, but there are some moments here where, the 20 seconds with Rios, there's kind of some long scenes here that don't need to be here. But I would argue that of all the episodes, at least in the last two, this episode did forward the story more than the previous two did.
Yes.
So at least
previous three did, sort of, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and you thought right then I thought this guy is totally screwed. She's gonna assimilate him and eat his brain or something, whatever the Borg Queen does. That's not the case. Now we get this meeting with Q and Dr. Soong, and Q basically calls him out right then. You're gonna sit down, and there's a moment where Soong is like, "Hey, listen, I deal with a lot of effing crackpots," and he curses. And a few people had a problem with it. And I said this yesterday. You guys, it's 2024. He's an angry scientist who has a sick daughter. It's a pretty common thing. I mean, cursing in that time frame is a normal part of the vocabulary. So,
yeah, if this had been in the 24th century, I would have been like, I don't like it. I don't like it when they're doing it in Discovery, and it's just not appropriate. We've gotten rid of the unnecessary, lower level language, but in 2024 we're rocking it still.
Yeah. Plus why would the same word? Why would the bad words be the same bad words in the future? We are not using the same bad words from 100 years ago. So,
what was 100 years ago bad word? Like the 1920s would have been like.
Bloody was a big one.
That still is. That's in Europe. That's in England.
Yeah, I guess.
No. I don't
know. Someone's got to do a study on that.
Shite. No, that's just another language too.
Arse.
No, that's another one.
So
that's
anyway,
like Shrek. That's like Shrek cussing.
Yeah. So Q basically goes, here's this little green thing, and
Blue.
a blue thing and, use it and call me when you want it, right? And he gives him medication basically for his daughter, which of course Soon is wary of. But he does say that he tested it on himself before he gave it to his daughter, which is cool.
How did you know it worked?
How did he what?
Like, just in case he dropped dead? Is that what? Is that because I noticed he told his daughter that I tried it on myself first. They didn't show us him trying it on himself.
Yeah, so maybe he tests it to see what's in it, right? He goes, okay, nothing in here is gonna kill me probably.
Yeah.
Let me try it on myself, and if I'm good, then I'll try it on her. I mean, I don't know. I'm not.
I respect it. I just.
I'm not a biologist.
Why was it necessary? It's interesting. The whole reason why he even made that comment was because so that she could say, "I trust you, Dad." Right? And I'm trying to think, like, what was the point of letting us know that she trusts him? Was it because they don't want us to think that this Soon character is a bad guy? You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, I completely understand his character. Like, dude, if he killed someone on screen in front of, on screen, in protection of his kid, or even just to further his research, I would even though it's morally a wrong thing to do, I would totally understand it. He's trying to protect his kid. So I don't see you don't have to make him a hero. He is what it is. It's a father trying to protect his kid, right?
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think it's anything special. I don't think they don't have to make him seem like a good guy. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Maybe they think the audience is so dumb they wouldn't understand, like, a father trying to save his daughter.
Okay. Well, yeah, maybe because they're not really writing for those people. Is that what it is? Like,
Right.
They're not writing for dads. They're
Right.
writing for another audience. Maybe?
Right.
And maybe you're right. Maybe that audience does not understand what it's like to be a father. So, hey, there you go.
Okay, moving on. We were talking about back to Lawrence and Picard. I'm sorry, Talim and Picard. He basically
It's Talon, right? It's not
Talon, Talim. What's her name, dude?
I think it's Talon, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever. Picard and the supervisor. He convinces the supervisor that it's her job too to help him figure out what's wrong and deal with it, because that's her job there. Because her entire job has been to protect Renee Picard, right?
Yes, that's been her 24 years. That's what she does.
Right. So they're off back to the crew, and this is when we get Girardi, who, by the way, Girardi's been doing great. Murder Doctor is doing great. 5 episodes in, and I'm still loving Girardi. In fact, I even liked her more this episode than the last 4 episodes, which is great.
All right, the Murder Doc, and I have to say, I was glad that I know we haven't gotten there yet, but she's going to basically not tell the truth to the rest of the crew, which is something she did in season 1 as well. It's like she just doesn't. She's not honest. She has a problem. There's something wrong with her, and they allowed that to continue, that character flaw to continue into season 2, which is a positive for the writing staff.
Yeah, she's a liar, a thief, and a murderer.
She is.
Yeah,
100%. All
right, so she comes in. Borg Queen has decided not to assimilate Mr. Copman, and instead use him as a hostage to get Girardi to come talk to her, which is next level chess moves, because she doesn't care about the getting off the ship so much. She cares about getting Girardi in Girardi's pants. That's what she wants. She wants Girardi. She wants to be all up in Girardi. She wants Girardi. Literally and figuratively in all the ways. And so she's appealing to Girardi's humanity. And she's like, look, I'm going to kill this dude, or we're going to talk, basically. Girardi brings a shotgun and shoots the queen.
Which they don't show us right away, which is interesting.
No, we don't.
I'm not sure. Did she shoot the cop? Did she shoot the queen? What did she do? She said, let's end this. And she shoots.
Yeah. So she shoots the cop. And we're gonna gear past most of this, but I do want to touch on this. His drones with the shields are literally the exact same shields from, like, the future.
Right. And like I was thinking before, this is proof that we are in a different, that we are not in the Star Trek timeline, because this tech is not 2 years away for us. So this is definitely a different timeline than our current Earth time. Because back when TOS was created, Roddenberry wrote this as the Star Trek is our future. And I think it was always treated that way up until a certain period of time. But now this definitely confirms the fact that we are not in the same universe.
We are not. Cool tech though. Yeah, so basically it works on his daughter, but only works for a short period of time, and we're gonna burn past all this. She gets out of the water and it wears off, and he's stressed out, and so he brings her inside, and he calls up Q, and he's like, "Yo, can I get a cure that actually works long term?" Back with Girardi, the crew gets back, right, and the first thing they see is Girardi with a blood-stained face, which I thought was.
What was normal for her.
Which is normal, yeah.
It's just a normal thing.
Imagine if you're Rios and you're like, "Not again, Girardi. We told you."
No, we left her alone with somebody. She killed him.
Yeah. You know what would have been funny? What'd you do to Picard?
Right.
Remember, because when they left, she was there with Picard.
That's true. You just couldn't help yourself, could you?
They get back and she's covered in blood and there's no Picard.
Right.
It's not my blood. She goes, "Yeah, we knew that, okay? Whose is it?" But that reveals that she saved the cop. She gave him some kind of chemical that made it so he couldn't remember or something. And I guess she fixed him. However, his spleen is in a box somewhere, which, can you live without your spleen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need your spleen.
So she took out his spleen. So she not only fixed him, but she upgraded him. Maybe he had a bad spleen.
Yeah, I think you can live without your spleen. I better look that up.
Whatever it is.
Because now it's really weird if you can't. Yeah.
Right. He's mostly fine, but his spleen's over there. Like,
it's over there in a box. I think she even said it's in a box.
It's in a box. Yeah, it's over there in a box somewhere. So
it's like she knows way too much about the body and what to do with it. It's like a serial killer.
Right.
You can be active without a spleen, but you're at increased risk of becoming sick or getting serious infections.
Okay, so she should put the spleen back in him.
Put it back in.
Right.
It's not his fault.
So back with oh, there's this scene here that was funny. When I'm gonna play it real quick.
Carrying a dead cop out.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So he was like, "My crew is great. You'll love them." And they get there and they're carrying a dead cop out of the spaceship.
She's like, "You mean the same crew that's carrying a dead cop, dragging a dead cop out?"
Right. He's like, "I'm sure there's an explanation."
Right.
Yeah. Back with Q and Data / Soon / Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner, by the way, I just got to say, he's so great in these Soong roles. I love him in them, and he adds so much to this show.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad he's here. Having him, having 7 of 9, having Picard, having Q. I mean, it's so much better with it, because it does have a lot of problems. So having these characters really gives me this comfort level and makes me want to keep watching.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, the best interaction so far this season for me was between Soon and Q, and I'll play it for you right now. But it was just a powerful scene. I'll play it right now.
Not something that wears off. Because if you do, I am a hostage to you, sir.
We're all hostages to what we love. The only way to truly be free is to love nothing. How meaningless would that be?
What a great scene. And I believe, Shay and I believe two different things here. I believe that this is foreshadowing of Q's true motives for the show.
Me too. I know we agree.
We just agree. We agree
on what it is.
But we agree the wrong way. Yeah.
Right.
I think that it's Q's motives. He is trying to teach. He's trying to protect Picard or the future one last time before he goes out, right? Even sacrificing himself or his powers to do so. Shane believes.
Yeah. Oh, I believe
That's a mental health issue.
Yeah, I believe that, because if you watch season 4 of Star Trek Discovery, you start to realize, their underlying thread is all about mental health and dealing with mental health. And now all of a sudden you're like watching Picard and you're like, well, hold on a second here. So you've got Renee Picard's got a mental health problem. Rafi's got a mental health problem. Is Q depressed? Is this the Continuum's version of depression? And he's lost his powers, and now we're dealing with it. And now mental health is a serious issue, but I'm not sure I want my Star Trek. I'm not sure I want it to be the theme of Star Trek, is dealing with mental health.
I hate that idea so much.
It's because it just pulls you out of the story. And
right.
So if the whole goal of this, now I will say that, I watched the after show with Will Wheaton and
the Ready Room.
The Ready Room, yeah. Annie Wershing said that Goldman, Akiva Goldsman told the actors that Picard season 2 would be a season of love stories. And so the Borg Queen and Jurati is a love story. Rafi and Seven is a love story. Does that mean that Q and Picard is a love story, or Picard and Laris, and maybe the whole goal is Q teaching Picard that love is more important than being alone in the stars? Maybe that's the point.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just don't do that.
I know, but I just have this feeling that that's what's happening. I really hope that's not the case. I don't want Q to be the bad guy. I mean, it's unbelievable the number of people who have died as a result of this lesson, most gruesomely, actually.
Right.
It would be a weird version. And if this is just Q being depressed, I don't know. Not sure how I feel about that.
Not sure how I feel about that either. Although that scene was really good.
Yeah, great scene. Great scene.
Yeah, and now we get back to the manor, and they have to break into this party to get some files.
I'm so sorry. I still have the same feelings, but it's like, okay, wait a sec.
What?
Like, okay, we're gonna go to like this mansion that's to get the NASA secrets. I'm just confused. Like, the technology is like when they have your picture, and this is another proof that it's not our 2024, because when they show your identification, they like know everything about your life. Like from the beginning of your life till now, they got it all.
Yeah, I said this yesterday, but ready, I'm gonna say it again. Thank God this technology doesn't exist, because if it did, I could never walk into a casino without some guy in the camera booth just throwing up in his mouth.
Just get out.
Like, oh my God, this deviant is gonna get him out of here. He's a YouTuber? No.
That's what Hollywood says. Oh, you're a YouTuber.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, Picard's sending in Girardi, and I like how Rios is like, sure you want to send in Girardi and not like the ex-Ranger or the ex-Spy? And because that I would have thought that through. If he had not said that, I would have been like, why not send in like Seven?
Yeah.
Or anyone else? But the fact that he said that made Picard answer with why, so instantly dealt with my issues, which is great. Now, we're just going to fast forward through all this reasoning. Basically, they need to get the files because they need to make sure that Renee Picard goes on the mission to find the sentient life form and bring it back to Earth for some weird reason. Who cares?
Yeah, which is completely outside of canon.
Right.
So I'm praying that, I don't know.
So whatever it is, that is what's happening in the future episodes. But what's going to happen right now is we got Girardi and I'm sorry. Let me get to there. Okay. All right. Girardi in a fantastic red dress, looking quite dapper, I might add. Quite dapper. And
now, should we have had Girardi or 7 of 9 or 7 of 9?
Ooh, that is a hard decision. Yeah. Ooh, I didn't think that through. Damn. No, I would have rather have seen 7 and 9 in that red dress.
There you go. Yeah.
But damn. Yeah, lots of opportunity there.
We're also a little older. Girardi's, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, Girardi's younger. All right. I'm loving Girardi to see this. The faces she makes are just so like unsure of herself and like hilariously quirky. She's great this season. It is such a massive departure from how horrible this character was last season. It's almost like the actress has sort of figured out how to play her or something, and then because the writing's better so far, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
they needed a lot of redemption.
Her facial, she didn't have these like facial tics and like little like, sarcastic quips and stuff last season. She was like,
well, she was mostly distraught last season too, and that's something else to you have to consider. She was really distraught last season, and it'll be interesting going forward from these episodes because we may see a return to the Girardi of last season, where she was pretty miserable because she's now has the Borg Queen.
I hope not. All right, now the good news is, so Renee Picard is sort of stressing out because she's watching all like the B-roll footage they're playing at the party. And
what's up with the B-roll footage of like 1960s, space race stuff?
I'll tell you what it is. Ready? They don't have to pay for that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's B-roll?
Look, I know. We make videos, and there is stock footage that has been out for so long, or it was public broadcast because it came from C-SPAN or NASA or something that, guess what? Everyone can use it. Everyone can put it in their videos, in their movies.
It makes no point. They've shown it multiple times this episode.
Yeah, it's free.
Like, I get it, but like, what's the point? Like, are they really that nostalgic to 60s going into space? I don't understand.
I feel like they should mix in stuff we haven't seen yet, like stuff from the 90s or whatever,
I mean, I know they're going to the moon of Jupiter, but the fly me to the moon, I don't know. It's just kind of weird a little bit.
Whatever it is, she purposely touches her hand to her ear, which was, at first I was like, yeah, that's pretty suspicious, but apparently she got caught on purpose.
Yeah.
Which is great. Security comes, they grab her, they're tied up. They had this really cool, hilarious moment where she was like, why is she handcuffed to the chair? She's probably some chick from Newport Beach.
It's totally it's so funny they even wrote it. I don't even know why they wrote it.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense because nobody, if you don't live in the greater Los Angeles area, you have no idea what that means.
Right. So, and the funny part is, so Newport Beach is in Orange County, California, and it's very rich. And there's a lot of Karens over there, but there's also a lot of retired actors and actresses from LA and Hollywood.
Sure.
That when they leave the industry, they move to Laguna Beach and Newport Beach and buy their mansions out there. That's that's like Hollywood retirement zone. I just thought it was funny. They should have said Orange County though, because there's multiple Orange counties, and it would have worked regardless of where you're at.
Yeah.
And everyone knows about Orange County because like the TV show Orange County.
Well, and also because anytime you hear about politics and stuff like that, you always know that's the rich area. But
right. Whatever it is, this is when it's revealed that she was actually low-key assimilated.
Yeah, she was Locutus assimilated.
I think actually this is I get what you're saying with Locutus, but it might be a different vibe though. It might be more like she's still there, but the Queen's also a passenger in that head.
Yeah, no, the Queen is no longer in her own body, right?
Right. She's sharing the consciousness with Girardi.
That's different. Like that's
different.
So she's assimilated. She's got her own little Borg Borg group going on. These two, I don't know. It's kind of a different way to be assimilated. I'm gonna be curious to see how this pans out.
Yeah, it's not normal. This is the scene where it shows the Queen.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't get rid of her because I was afraid that once they killed her, I'm like, oh no more Annie Wershey, no more Borg Queen. But they're gonna have her in this, in her head, and they're still gonna show her. So I think that's a good move.
I like this. It's a different type of assimilation, and I believe that it might also this might be the reason why the Borg are so different in the future. Imagine if the Borg, the theory is Girardi is actually the Queen that we saw in the future with the head covering on, right?
Right.
And so because she's still in there, because she's because it's a co-ownership of that body now, there might be a little more benevolence going on in that version of the Borg, which is why they look so different and why they were acting so they were stunning people instead of killing them. Might be a completely different version of the Borg that comes from here. So they don't belong in our version of the Borg. They actually come from that, corrupted timeline.
Got it. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I really hope it plays out something like that. Then it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the end. That's the big reveal.
That is the big reveal. Yeah, so we talked about the mental health thing, which I think is what we have kind of coming. What they do with this microorganism that is sentient has a lot to do with, I think, going forward and whether or not that's dangerous for future Star Trek canon, especially since the first sentient non-Earth life form that is recognized would be a Vulcan. Would be the Vulcans, not anything else. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah. A lot of things came up. Q is sick. Girardi's been like this new hybrid assimilation. Renee Picard brings back a sentient life form. And they confirm that the supervisor is indeed a Gary 7 character. So like a lot of things happen this episode that has got to have a lot of people wondering what's going to happen in the following episodes. So what do you think?
I mean, I wonder if Q is trying to stop her for a reason. Maybe the thing that actually changes the timeline is something new that happens while she's on the mission. And Q's trying to stop that. So to kill two birds at one stone, to maybe change Picard's future a little bit so that he's not lonely out in space, and also to keep the, so maybe he's still working for the forces of good and we just can't see it.
Interesting. What if there's a version? What if it's not just the Europa mission, but the fact that she brought something back, and that's why there's a scene of remember the Romulans mind melding with some kid or whatever?
That's still got to happen, and we know that Soji is there. But now that I think about it, what if that's not? From the previews that we saw, we know that Soji witnesses the mind meld. What if it's not that one? What if it's the current, Soong character,
the daughter? Yeah,
right. That happens to recognize it, so it may not be her. That's interesting. But that's going to happen. It's yet to come, and it's definitely a Vulcan or it's a Romulan.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. All right, let's look at some chat here. Oh my God, there's a lot of chat here. Okay, let's go up. Here we go. We will start with David Nonya. No surprise, a girl is the key to everything. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I think he's talking about the Miss Marvel thing. Not that.
Yes, yeah, it's Miss Marvel.
My bad. Yeah, that's actually no surprise. Arch made discovery. Should call Q. He's a good therapist.
That's what they need. But unfortunately, they haven't heard from the Continuum in several hundred years.
Yeah, which is another interesting thing. They haven't heard from the Continuum in several hundred years since Picard time.
No. No, because Picard time would be, 800 years. So they had heard from the Q 500 years after Picard's time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe soon used. What's that?
Good. I mean, good. I get why you would think that. Yeah.
All right. Maybe soon used Romulan DNA on his daughter, and that's why she's messed up. You could have some. You can still have some theory points. All right.
Maybe. We did get the Romulan device.
Yeah.
What if this is all like a Romulan trick?
Oh, snap!
Gary 7's thing. It's like this whole thing. I don't know.
We'll I hope that's not the case. Actually, even though we would love it for a theory, it'd be bad for the show. Once Raffi and Seven found Rios, all they did was go back to the ship. They gained no new information. Did nothing to further the overall plot.
No doubt, right?
That's a good point.
Nothing.
It's a really good point. That was from Doomed, huh? Yeah. All right. So then, Shane, what was the purpose on episode 3 of them getting separated?
They were supposed to be looking for tech that the Watcher would use. They went to go look for the Watcher.
So they basically stormed off the ship like an adolescent, got separated, got hurt, got arrested, stole a cop car, transported out in front of cops, beat up some civilians, let go of a bunch of illegal immigrants, and then went back to the ship.
Yeah.
So literally,
nothing happened.
Accomplished nothing but destruction.
But destruction, screwing up the time, messing up things like seeing people getting beamed all over the place. Just they had a bunch of problems, and they got to deliver their message. That's what it was. They got to use that to deliver their message.
I just find it hilarious that they left and ran around LA doing nothing but causing trouble, and Picard casually walked off the ship into the bar, got help from Guinan, and then casually went to the park, had a nice conversation over some tea, boom, got the supervisor. So Picard is literally just doing all the heavy lifting here.
Yeah, so far, why is Rafi, 7 of 9, and Rios even here? They've done nothing so far.
Yeah, nothing. All right. Yeah, Doom, David, Doom. Yeah, plot-wise, nothing. You're right. Okay, back. Yes, the drones filter out UV light. I thought that was... I mean, the drones have a shield that can filter it out. I was looking it up, and, you can actually... There's actually like these blue light lenses that you can use to filter out light, but there's also these chambers you can get into, and they completely filter out all forms of light except for one specific visible light ray or whatever, and it's supposed to help you heal. So I guess we already have the tech to filter out anything we want. We can filter out every form of light except for one particular type of light, from the spectrum. So I can see in the future some kind of shield that does that, and drones that fly it up. Makes sense to me.
All right.
If an actor sends you a card in 2024 with a Q on it, you're probably going to assume QAnon. That's
QAnon.
QAnon. QAnon.
Isn't that QAnon?
I don't know. That's the crazy...
It's the crazy political theory.
Right. There was this... I don't know if you've ever heard of Reno 911.
I haven't seen it, but I know.
All right, so they're off the air, right? But they were bought by... a couple companies, but basically eventually Roku. And Roku is like remaking Reno 911 episodes as movies.
Oh, all right.
So the latest one was like Reno 911 Cruise versus QAnon. And they go on a QAnon cruise, and like they're supposed to be undercover trying to find out who Q is. And it's this whole amazing movie that no one's ever seen of these cops that are completely useless. And it ends up being that the entire cruise is undercover agents. All the crazy Q people are all undercover agents from some, and they like all pointing guns at each other, and they're all agents. There's only one person there that's not a part of like Homeland Security or the FBI or CIA or whatever. And it was Patton Oswalt.
Well, that makes sense.
But it was almost like they're making fun of the left, the right, and then the left, and then the right again, then the left. And I was like, this is really proper good comedy. Like, you have this premise that people think is going to be making fun of one particular political group. And then you make fun of the fact that at all these rallies and stuff, it was a bunch of like undercover cops and no actual people.
Yeah, as it should be. Make fun of both sides.
Yeah, make fun of both sides. I'm sorry, that was a weird tangent. Sorry, guys.
I was like, where's he going with this? Let's go.
They keep flashing back to Picard's mom. Yeah, that's trying to show you that Q is Picard's real dad, aren't they? No. No.
Well, what was your theory?
Oh, imagine that though. Oh God.
What did you say?
I would hate that.
What if the Q continuum was this? What did you say about it being this life form that she finds on Io? Remember you were saying that?
Okay, hear me out. She finds a sentient form of microorganism on Io. They bring it home. Dr. Soon experiments on it. Starting this hyperaction, hyperevolution, where it's evolving at a rapid pace. And then 2 billion years in the future, that is the Q Continuum. Hyper evolved. And we're seeing Q, because he can travel through time, traveling to various spots in that timeline. And that's what the Q is. The microorganism they find on Io.
I would hate that more than I would hate that. I would crush my television. I just would hate that so much. I hope that does not happen.
If it ends up being that the Q is an ancestor of this organism, if that ends up being in any way that in some way the Qs they exist because it's an organism, right? If that is the case in any way, I want a video that I can share on the following week's live stream of you just breaking a TV.
Oh, I'll do more than that. I'll do some terrible, horrible things that we can videotape.
Because think about this: as he's changing the time, he's losing his powers.
Yeah, not happening.
It's very Back to the Future, bro.
It's very not going to happen. That'd be so lame if the Q was born in 2024 on Earth.
No, I don't want David Nunya. No, I don't want Q's true motives being defined by Kurtzman.
All right, Dave. Good. See you next week, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Later, bro. I believe they said she brings back an organism that she believes is sentient. Not that it actually was. Okay.
Okay.
Why is Loris playing 2 roles? Let me tell you why. The actress is under contract.
Yeah. No, it's really kind of dumb.
They've already paid her, so
I don't know. Yeah, we talked about this. It's like, what was the point? She's not, unless there's some sort of backdoor, reason why it means something. It seems like they're just using characters in certain roles because they're already familiar faces. But the fact that Rafi recognizes and says, "Why don't you? She looks a lot like and Picard's like, I don't want to talk about it. So it is not, it's not something in his head. It's not something, but she obviously, that character thinks that she's not the Romulan. So
right, but them showing the Romulan keypad makes me think
it messes. I hate that. It's either I hate it or I love it. What is it?
Yeah. And we don't know if we like it. We don't know if we like it or hate it yet.
If it doesn't mean anything by the end of the season, I'm gonna be like, come on.
Right. Q is just an all-powerful child god. I mean, that's what. Yeah, but he's had previous motivations. I think he actually loves Picard, like the way. The way I love my dog. Guys, I gotta be going now. Hey, man, I'll see you later, bro. Q mom is all of a sudden an abuse victim at 35 years. Yeah, that bothered me. Honestly, it did. In the very first episode, she was like his dad's abusive, and they had to leave.
Picard, yeah. We never knew. I mean, I guess it's weird, but it's not that. It's not that can't be a motivation for him to. Maybe that's the reason why Picard never, trusts anybody. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like it's just hyper convenient, but it's fine.
Well, what else? What other reasons do you have? I mean, if you have to almost have been in, grown up in a bad, when your parents are beating the crap out of each other, to really understand how much you don't want that when you grow up. You don't want to be in a relationship where, you don't want to put kids through that kind of thing. So I can see that being a reasonable thing. Now, is it something that would be typical for Star Trek? No.
No.
It's definitely more of a current take on things, but.
All right. Well, that's it for Picard season 2, episode 5. So far, a much better episode than the last 3.
I'm nervous though. I'm
a little nervous. They did bring up a lot of stuff. It can go really, honestly.
A lot of mental health stuff going on.
It can go either way. It could be really, really bad or really, really good. And we're back to this weird question. It started to get weird when they were doing the political stuff for a couple of episodes, but now we are back at the same place. We're okay, you can either go really well or really poorly, and and there's no telling yet. So, you know what?
Oh my God, nothing happened basically for 2 episodes. You know, it's kind of like funny because they ran around, they did nothing, they came back, and Picard's the only one who really did anything over 2 episodes where he met Guinan and the Watcher. Other than that, all the other characters, nothing happened.
Right, he did nothing. They did nothing for 2 episodes.
Waste of screen time. I
agree. Okay. All right, so we're done with Picard until tomorrow. I'll be on the Salty Nerd Show talking about it some more, and of course next week. So what's next, Shane? Because we're gonna pop into the members section. So you wanna close us in or what?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about. If you guys are interested in coming over and listening to this, we're gonna be talking about how Star Trek's Carl Urban, who plays Dr. McCoy, breaks his silence over the news on the new sequel. And of course, we have a video out right now that's out there that talks about the fact that Carl Urban may not be able to be in Star Trek 4 because of his commitments with the boys. So that'll be interesting to learn about that. We're gonna meet the crew of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. They dropped a bunch of 30-second videos that introduce basically all of the characters, and we're gonna go through the good and the bad of that because there is both. We're going to be talking about why the Rings of Power will be more like Game of Thrones, which could be good, could be bad, like that. We'll go through that. And Zack Snyder's Justice League wins most cheer-worthy moment since it could not win an actual Oscar that it actually deserved.
It did deserve. Yeah, and I know Shane has a lot to say about that. So
I mean, he got to redo it. I get why he doesn't get it, but I still think he deserves something.
Marilyn Holmes said, hit like, guys. Yes, please do that. Hit the like button. And
the more likes we have, I think the better it gets served. So.
Yes, we are moving to the member section now. So we're going to be dropping the video on this and going dedicated over to the member section, which you can find here. I just spammed it in chat. So hit that like button on the way to the members section. And that's when we're going to talk about some more awesomeness. The meat of the meat and the potatoes.
And the cool part of being a member is that we do, like, if news pops or something interesting happens, then you can actually get that, you can get that from us right away as a member. And also, we are reviewing Picard before the live show today in the member section. So you can catch that on Thursday as opposed to waiting for today.
Yep. Yeah. Thursday, pretty early on Thursday, we try to do that review.
Yeah, so we're watching it in the middle we're watching it as soon as it drops Wednesday night.
Yeah. Shane actually watched it on the way home from my studio last night. Wednesday night, like in his car. He's like,
yeah, I did.
So dangerous.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh. Anyways, listen, link is in the description. It's also in chat. And you know what? One more time, I'll throw it on screen. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that on screen for a few minutes while we go to audio only and bounce over to the members section. So hopefully you guys can come over to the members section and hang out with us later.
Thank you, Danny. Take care. Good night.
Night, boys and girls. All right, so there's only audio for a little while, and I'll fade that out a bit eventually. But for now, we are in the members section! Woo! Yeah! Members section, Archmage Free and Kenneth the Rogue. What's up, everybody? Okay. So I love the member section because, we can start the member section and I can start vaping, pretty much immediately because only you guys can see it.
I can start vaping immediately. I love the member section so I can vape without being judged. But I'm still going to judge you, dude. Stop vaping.
Let's be real. Every time I vape during the regular show, Shane's like, I don't know if you should be vaping.
I do feel that way.
Yeah, but the member section, no one cares here. It's Wild Wild West over here.
It's Wild Wild West. No Will Smith jokes this week, right?
And listen, do not make me slap the crap out of you.
We haven't even talked about this. Do you realize
we should talk about Will Smith real quick? Can we do that?
We haven't talked about it.
Because the memes are aplenty. I have seen some of the funniest memes of my life. So I want to thank someone real quick. Thank you, Will Smith, Thank you.
You want to thank Will Smith.
Thank you, Jada Pinkett Smith. Thank you for abusing Will Smith to the point where he literally loses his mind publicly on live television at the Academy Awards, walks up to someone he has known for decades and straight up pimp slaps him before returning to his chair and screaming about putting something in his wife's mouth. And let me tell you something. Thank you. Because for a week now, I have laughed to the point of crying at the memes and the re-edits and the videos and the music videos and the music and all the things that have come into pop culture because of this moment. That said, I really feel sorry for Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like Will Smith is like this close to just like he needs a therapist.
I know it's like it's wrong what he did, and it's wrong. But I got to tell you, Will Smith is a pretty likable guy.
Right.
You know, most of everything he's done, I mean, if you go back and look at his movies, he's enjoyable to watch. I watched King Richard. He was fantastic in it. The guy totally deserved the Oscar. I mean, it was by far the best performance of everybody who was up there who was nominated. And Will Smith's been kind of a joke in the last decade or so. His movies haven't done great. And so it was really cool to see this movie did great. And it's just sad that he's in such a terrible position with his wife and this really weird relationship they have where she's like banging rappers and stuff, and he's so cucked, he's laughing at the joke. He's laughing at the G.I. Jane joke.
And then his wife looks at him like,
yeah. Well, she obviously gets upset. It goes back, and that he's like, oh, dang, she's mad about that. And then he just immediately reacted. Like he is so helpless in his own relationship that he feels the need to go to that level. I mean,
yeah, well, because he has no control. He's helpless. He can't hit his wife, can't hit her lovers, can't hit his kids, can't hit his publicist, can't hit the public, but he can hit Chris Rock.
Well, think about this. Okay. He is so beholden to his wife that she's with other men that he has to even greatly or more greatly man up in his own mind in order to equalize that. So when she basically looks at him like, oh my God, can you believe he did that to me? And he's like, well, I'm going to show her how big of a man I am because she's sleeping with other dudes because apparently I'm not man enough for her because she needs other dudes.
Right.
That's what's going through his head. So he goes up and does something stupid to Chris Rock. Stupid. So stupid.
Stupid. And the people that were like defending it, like, he is actually not a cuckold. They're in an open relationship. Hey guys, listen. She can call it an open relationship, but open implies both parties are open, not just one. That is not what an open relationship is. And the funniest thing that came out of this was there was this comment on this I follow this like messenger group, me and a bunch of buddies from old gaming times, and one of my friends was like, Jada is like, I'm gonna let Will watch tonight.
Oh dang. Oh no.
Like that's his reward for defending her.
Just so wrong. It's sad because he's in that place, and now he's going to be remembered forever for this. Like, Will Smith is going to be remembered for smacking Chris Rock in the middle of and it's not over. Like, right now, everybody's like shocked. Imagine like somebody like literally like Chris Rock was shocked afterwards. The whole country is still in shock, but something's coming at Will Smith. There's going to be some consequences to this. He may not get invited back to do this again.
Maybe.
Because they're already talking about maybe not allowing him, like banning him from the Academy. So it's like, dang.
Let me show you guys an innocent meme that I thought was really funny. The ketchup bottles that's almost empty. Me.
Oh my God.
I love that one. I mean, we're not going to do a meme review, but oh my God, some of the memes here are so funny. Like, thank you for letting me, it's a week of laughter. I've been laughing all week, and I feel sorry for Will. And I mean, look, to be honest, I should feel sorry for Chris Rock, but Will Smith is so pathetic that you feel sorry for him because of how pathetic he's become. You know, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for Chris, but actually Chris is going to benefit from this.
Well, Chris sold out his last two shows right after this.
Yeah. And then he went on and said he's not ready to talk about it yet. He will, but he's not ready.
Here's another one. Here's real quick. Me tired of seeing Will Smith memes. Another Will Smith meme.
What is it? Me tired of seeing only Will Smith memes. Another Will Smith. Oh. That's pretty meta.
That's meta. All right.
There's a couple good Trek ones too.
Yeah, there is. There's some good memes out there. Anyways, yeah, we don't want to really talk about this too much, but that's it. That's how we feel, man. Listen, if you are in a toxic relationship, and maybe you don't know it, but there are some identifiers out there, and you can just look at. I gotta stop. I gotta take this page.
Like your wife sleeping with someone else, perhaps.
Well, yeah.
And you're okay with it?
One identifier is your wife sleeping with someone else, then telling you, "Don't worry about it. We're in an open relationship."
And you're like, "Oh,
damn, that was new to me." But it's more things like, instead of your significant other building you up, they do little things that tear you down constantly. I think go either way. That is a toxic relationship. And a lot of people don't realize that they're in a toxic relationship until they're so depressed and so bummed out that they have a really hard time coming back from it. Yeah. So you got to look and go like, why do I have bad days? Why am I bummed out? If you're having bad days and you're bummed out all the time, and you're like, your only goal is to live long enough to see the next episode of Picard, you need to identify what it is that is making your life miserable. Is it your job? Leave. Go get a different job.
But go get another job before you leave.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
Is it your friends? Your friends suck. Leave them.
Go get new friends.
Get new friends. We'll be your friends. Yeah. Is it your husband or wife? Sorry to say, unless they're planning on changing sometime soon, if they've been this way all the time, it's time to go, man, because you have one life to live. And if your one life sucks, you got to change that. You got to change that. And Will Smith is a billionaire that you would think has an awesome life, but he tied his train to a very toxic individual, one of the most toxic people in all of Hollywood, and now he's stuck there and he can't get out. And the only way he can act out is on national television while getting an Oscar, smacks the crap out of someone he's known for 20 years.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Absolutely crazy.
That is the accumulation. You know what? And that is mild compared to what a lot of other people deal with when it comes to toxic relationship, because they think the only way out for them is self-deletion. And that sucks.
That's sad.
It's really sad. There's no memes there. No memes that'll make that better.
No. Well said, brother.
Yeah. Thanks, man. As someone who has been in toxic relationships, and I've seen myself out. But you know what? I'm good. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. All right.